and sinful fallout.
Is this sort of Iqra,
Right?
isn't it?
Yeah. So here we can establish one thing here, right? How is it possible? And this is a really good question, and this is something this is food for thought, right? How did Prophet Muhammad know 1,400 years ago that the frontal, they call it the prefrontal cortex, right? Which is the front of the head. The prefrontal cortex or the prefrontal cerebrum is responsible for lying and sinful behavior, right? And as the brother rightly questioned, he asked you, what part of the head is responsible for lying and sinful behavior? Now, some people could say, well, it's the back of the head, you know, because the prefrontal cortex is actually, it has subdivisions. And so therefore, you have the prefrontal lobes and you have the A prefrontal cortex. So some people may argue, well, certain parts of region of the brain is responsible for lying and sinful behavior. But we now know, and it's established science, that the prefrontal cortex or the prefrontal cerebrum, which is the front of the head, is responsible for lying and sinful behavior. So in the Quran, Allah says that we will drag him by that and we will cast him into hell, right? So how is it possible? If the Prophet Muhammad was an imposter, if the Prophet Muhammad was fraudulent, if Prophet Muhammad, how did he know? Just like, how did he know about the Rainbow Mountains? We know that in Western China, in Peru, we've got the variant different mountains, and we've got the variant different colors of the mountains. That's amazing. How did Prophet Muhammad know that?
I need to go back and...
That's something really to consider here.
Is there anything you'd like to say before?
No, that's it. But I'm very pleased with the discussion. Thank you so much. Every time I come to Speaker's Corner, I learn something new.
Just one more thing, just to give you a reminder that, look, I do have to give you a bit of a wake up. We're all going to die one day.
Yeah.
Yeah? That's one thing that we know for certain in life.
That's why we must live.
But we must die.
Yeah.
Now ask yourself this question. What if that there is God? What if there is Day of Judgment? You see, as an atheist, you have to say, I hope there isn't. But what if
of course,
there is judgment?
What if there isn't? It's the same.
Okay, but all of the claims, all of the proofs that we've given you, try and falsify.
Yeah.
If you're able to falsify, you know what? Live the life the way how you want as a sovereign individual, right? But if you cannot meet those challenges, really ask yourself this question. You know what? There must be Day of Judgment. Prophet Muhammad must be the messenger of God.
I'll come back. I'll have a read.
So, did you just say, so very quickly, did you say, what if there wasn't a hereafter? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Now, that's a very good question. And very quickly, I think.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna pray.
There is a verse in the Quran where Allah says that on that Day of Judgment, right, when we cast the disbelievers into hellfire, right, we will burn them and then we will replace their skins and burn them and replace their skins and burn them so that they may feel the pain, right? So now, there's a very, very good question that could be asked here. He's going soon anyway. There's a very good question that one can ask, right? If we look at pain receptors, right, underneath our skin, when you receive a second degree burn or a third degree burn, or I think a second degree burn, we feel the pain, right? We do feel the pain because we have pain receptors underneath our skin, and that will allow us to feel that pain. However, when we receive a first degree burn, all of the pain receptors, as well as all of the follicles underneath the skin, the epidermis and the dermis are completely burnt out. So Allah in the Quran says this. So we will replace the skins and we will burn it so they can feel the pain. So now that's actually quite interesting, right? Because it just shows that hellfire does exist. How did the Prophet Muhammad know? Because one can ask, well, you know what, if you receive a burn, a natural burn, well, you might just feel the pain. But there is a threshold underneath the skin, under the epidermis itself, is that if that's completely burnt out and the sebaceous glands are burnt out underneath the hair follicles, you will not feel the pain. So the Quran is emphasizing that underneath the sebaceous glands, as well as the epidermis, is that you will feel that pain. So that's something, that's a verse that is worth considering. So Allah is talking about those who deny the resurrection and those who, and this is, by the way, this is not to scare you, it's not to, it's to make you, to open your mind and to think that there is a hereafter. And the Quran is a miracle in itself. The Quran is not a science book, it's a book of signs. It's a book of signs. And it's something to consider, my friend.
How often do you think about death?
So quite a bit.
That's good.
Yeah, quite a bit, of course. But then it makes me think to live life more, to understand what life is, to treasure life.
Brilliant. But
anyway,
if there is a religion like Islam that gives you all of these challenges and you can't meet the challenge, then logically, rationally speaking, you have to accept it, right?
But I shall have a look. I shall come back.
Bro, what's your name?
Alexis.
Yeah,
Let's see. Hsmza.
Lovely to meet you, my friend.
Thank you very much for taking your time.
Bless you.
Appreciate it. Yeah? You too. May Allah guide you to us.
Amen.
Thank you very much, sir.
Alhamdulillah.
May Allah guide you.
Amen.
I've got to pray us.
See, this always happens. I don't even know where
Always
these go.
happens. They're not.
And they disappear.
They don't even.
Sam Dawah, yeah.
This is his camera.
Sam Dawah, yeah.
No Christian countries have enough. Yeah, but historically, these are the only two. How many of them have denounced the Christ become Muslim? Apart from by conquest. We're talking about conquest. In the century, which caused 2 billion, if not more, this one's still running as well, by the way.
What do I put this one?
That's why you don't logic.
How many cameras you have, bro?
Angels told him all of that. This is enough proof for him to follow him.
Right, very good point and very good questions. So when somebody makes a claim
Yes.
and somebody makes an argument, you shouldn't just